Good evening, everyone. Hope all is well. Love and light. It's your guy J Day, and today, guys, I have an interview for you. I have Miss Wendy. Now, Miss Wendy has been on the platform previously. Um, Unfortunately, she went through some things, and I hate to have you on the platform. When now that you went through this whole ordeal. So it is what it is, but I wanted to bring Miss Wendy on and kind of share her story. It's an unfortunate situation that went down in Dominican Republic for her. So I wanted to bring her kind of on the platform to share her story about how she got robbed in Dominican Republic. Now keep in mind, guys, I'm not making this video to put Dominican Republic in a bad light. I love DR. DR has a special place in my heart. But at the same time, when we are traveling to Dominican Republic as expats, tourists, you know, we need to be careful and be aware of certain things. So this is a learning experience, for me, not just, for me, and I'm sure for you guys as well. So without further ado, I'm going to give Wendy the floor. And Wendy, I'm just going to ask you, first off, how are you doing?
Of course, I'm in pain and everything, and I had surgery on my foot, but I'm just glad to be alive. So that's number one, and I want to say all my body parts.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, you sound to be, in good spirits. Thank God. I'm sure it could have been worse. You know what I mean? So, thank God you're still here and able to share your story with us. So tell me exactly what happened.
Well, for me, is I was coming from the beach on my way to my new job, or where I'm supposed to be at, and I got stopped by the police. They stop us all the time. So I'm on a moto. I've had a moto for the last 4 years that I've been here. I've had no problems. Well, first of all, y'all all know me from Wandolio. I've been in Wandolio for 4 years, and I just got to Punta Cana August the 2nd. And I was just trying to, do a little change of scenery to try to live here and see what's going on. So I hadn't even been here 30 days yet. And was coming from the beach on my way to somewhere else, and the police stopped. They stop me all the time for money, and I'm making a joke like, me no money, me no money. I'm ready to go. I had my book bag on my back, while
Mm-hmm.
I'm riding. And when I took the book bag off my back to get my ID and stuff out for them and show them, and I wanted to get away from them so bad. I remember putting the book bag in the basket, and I hooked the straps to the arm. What's they called? The gears, not the
Okay.
gears. What's it called?
Like where
The
you where
hand thing.
you
Yeah, the
the
handlebar.
handles.
Put
Okay.
each strap around each handlebar, and I just pulled off. Well, I'm just da la 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 la. I'm driving Miss Daisy is what I call it, because I try to do slow because I don't want to hit the bumps and stuff. And I just
Mm-hmm.
had this. When you say about your surroundings, I'm definitely aware of my surroundings because I knew where I was going. I knew the path that I needed to go. And I just felt like something wasn't right behind me. So I pull over a little bit slower. I see a moto coming up, well, a few motos coming up and pass me by real fast. So I'll go on a speed up, and this last moto come up beside me, snatch the book bag, which is attached to the bike. So he's dragging me and the bike with him. And I'm
Mm.
screaming, I let bag go. I need my bag. I need my bag. No, no, no. And as it shakes loose, I just feel this accelerating speed, and I just fly around the corner. I hit a car. They tell me I hit the ground and I got to run and screaming, he got my bag. He got my bag. Okay, somebody
Mm-hmm.
help me get my bag. So, it was in the moment. I fractured three of my toes. They were broke. One of my toes was shredded, so they couldn't save that one. I have a cast on, and again, I'm glad to be alive. So it happened in an area where I knew some people. Thank goodness. I looked up and I seen several people that I knew that I've encountered with since I've been here in Punta Cana. Not only
Mm-hmm.
that, I from Wandolio and come to Punta Cana and hang out and then go back to my house in Wandolio. So I already had a few people here, and I was just so thankful and grateful that they were there. And one of them spoke some English. Also, the guy, I hit a car, they said. I didn't even know I ran into the car. The bike dropped and I got up and was running. That man spoke English. He said, everything's okay. I seen what happened. He started translating. But this the kicker. You know how on the chats they be saying, don't go to this hospital, don't go to that hospital. I ain't know what hospital. When the ambulance came, I'm saying, I can't go. I can't go with y'all. No, I'm not going. But they had somebody else translate, ma'am, everything gonna be all right. We just taking you to the closest one. We just want to see about your foot. It was real. It was nice. It wasn't bad. They ended up taking me, I guess, to uh, Verone General, and there was some English speaking workers in there, and they treated me really nice. So I was scared because I was hearing horror stories about they don't have sterile this, they don't have that, they don't have needles. They had everything. I was in surgery within 2 hours. In the USA, a specialist don't come that fast. We all know it take a second. So,
Yeah.
um, and it was way cheaper than I expected. So, I'm thankful and grateful to have been there. And I just was like, oh my God, what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do. They took my passport, they took my ID, they took my, everything was in my bag. My glasses, my contact, my phones, my USA phone, my Dominican Republic phone. I just got it. Um, and that's it. I mean, that's basically what really happened. And it was just terrifying. Now I can sit here and think like, was my bag that important? To me, it
Uh-huh.
was. you
Mm-hmm.
know, at that time
Wow.
because it had everything in it that I needed.
Mm. So I mean, just hearing this, I'm sure that had to be a traumatic, very traumatic for you in the moment, So what area? Because I know Punta Cana to be very safe, and it's relatively safe for tourists to travel to. So when I heard that this happened to you, I'm like, well, damn. What part of where were you at in Punta Cana did this happen, and how far or were you away from the police after after you left them before
And
they robbed you?
them three young men that had stopped me, and I told them I didn't have any money. They came immediately, and they
Uh
were, I
huh.
guess, what they were saying in Spanish, but they were pointing at me like, yeah, we just talked to them. And I was like, yeah, those are the guys that's just stopped me. I just passed them, and then the other cars behind me. So it was coming around. We're all familiar with the drink point. So between a resort, which I don't know the name, Palladium, Palladium, and a drink point is where it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Um, bend, and as I come around the bend to the drink point, that's where the everything happened to me. Is when it just happened so fast. Like I said, when the book bag shook loose, it just seemed like I was flying, and I couldn't stop.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that's the
Wow.
area that it was in.
So it was a well populated area.
It was, thank goodness, because it was packed outside. I don't know what was going on at that Texaco. I don't know what was going on at the restaurant, and they were doing some work on a drink point. So it was people everywhere, which was great.
Uh
And they
huh.
say it's there. I've already, of course, reached out to the embassy and, of course, the tourist police. And I don't have anything negative to say about Punta Cana because I love DR. Everybody knows I try to live beneath my means in order to be here.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. After me personally, after going through something like that, I'd be ready to probably take my ass back, to the United States. You know what I mean? After going through that traumatic experience. What time of the day was this? Did this happen?
Oh, it was 4 o'clock in the day. It was daylight, broad daylight. I described
Wow.
the motor. I described what he had on. I just don't remember it. I don't remember seeing a license plate.
Uh huh. Now, were they Dominican? Do you know, or Haitian?
He had a helmet on, a full cover whole helmet, and
Mm-hmm.
he had on a black jacket. He had on a black thing, looked like he was a moto coach with yellow stripes down the back. I described the motorcycle, everything, because I was kicking at it. We was like attached, and I was just like, I need my bag. Let go, let go. I mean, to me,
Mm.
it was like a movie.
Wow. So
Mhm.
after all of that had happened, what was the next step? Did they call the ambulance? Did the ambulance arrive on the scene?
They called the ambulance, and like 75 police showed up. Police was everywhere. The ones in the
Mm.
green, the one white. Yeah. because I still hadn't got myself together. They said my adrenaline was just, when I looked down and seen my foot, even after they put the bag of ice on my foot, I still was screaming, I got to get my bag. I got to get my stuff. Go,
Uh-huh.
we got to get. And they like, ma'am, calm down. We going to get them. We got cameras all over the place. So as I've told, they're pulling the cameras now and looking at everything. But again, this could have happened in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, I'm from Columbus, Ohio. It's going down right now. It's
Uh-huh.
a lot going on everywhere. So, hey, I
Mm.
still love Dominican Republic. I'm glad to have my life. I love motos. I've had my own moto for all these years. I'm not gonna blame it on the moto because they be like, Miss Wendy, get off the moto. Well, I ain't gonna sit around and wait for nobody to come pick me up and drop me off and all that. I had to get where I was supposed to be. And
Mm.
again, I have been questioning myself. You know, was it that
And
important for the bag? So that's all I keep doing right now. And I'm glad I got my body parts.
mm-hmm.
And glad because we've all seen the stories of people on the side of the road dead or
Yeah,
missing a leg,
yeah. I mean,
arm.
yeah. I mean, I've heard, heard countless of stories of people getting injured really, really bad, on a motorcycle. And I mean,
Mhm.
me personally, I wouldn't do it. For those of you guys who travel to Puerto Plata, y'all already know it's a congested city, and the motor conchos take over the roads. You know what I mean? So, it's for me, it's just not a safe place to be riding on a moto. As much as I would love to, buy me a Pasola for myself and ride around, I think that as Americans, expats living in DR, we are target. Let's just say the least. You know what I mean? And I know Dominicans that have gotten robbed on a moto. So for sure. So if it happens to them, what makes us think it's not going to happen to us? So for me personally, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. But in terms of like the level, huh?
I understand. I said, that's
Yeah.
you. I'm a motorcycle in the USA.
Uh huh.
Harleys, Gold, 1800 Vulcans. So to each his own. And I've had one for 4 years and I have no problem. I have my own
Yeah.
moto at my house in studio. So,
I think
you
for
know,
me, if it was a smaller city, for me personally, like if it was a smaller city, I think I'd be a little bit more comfortable. Puerto Plata is just too congested for me. You know what I mean? And I'm not that experienced. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it real with you. I'm not that experienced riding on motorcycles, so I'm just saying for a person like me, I probably do better in a smaller town where it's less, less traffic, and that way, I could learn and pretty much pace myself when it comes to riding a motorcycle. But in terms of like the level of care, like how did they treat you in the hospital? I know they say that the hospitals are free or whatever. So explain like the level of care there and how did that work?
it was I had no problem with it. Like I said, I was fearful because all the horror stories, and it wasn't like that. Even when I got in there, I was like, I don't want to be here. I want to go, to somewhere else. And they was like, why? And I was telling them my horror stories. But the horror stories from the groups, it's going to be this. They don't have that. They had sterile stuff. They had needles. They had covers. They're all the stories that other people have. Maybe they gave me, what I needed because of who I am or, American, I don't know. But I didn't have any problems there, you know. I
Hmm.
didn't have it there at all. They were
Alicia
really
asked.
complicated.
Alicia asked. She said, "Can you clarify, please? So you only lost one toe?"
Yeah. Yes. So one of my toes was shredded, like the
Uh
skin
huh.
came off. And that's the
Okay.
one he said save. All the rest of them had been broken and he broke and put them back in place.
Mm.
Well, no,
Mm.
three, three, three were
Uh huh.
broken, and he put them in place.
Okay. So you lost. So you lost added five. You just lost one toe.
Yes.
Okay. 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 So now that you got everything, go ahead. You want to say something? I didn't mean to cut
I
you
said,
off.
Oh no, it's a delay. I'm sorry. I said that had to be when I put my foot down.
Uh huh.
Because I was putting my foot down to try to stop the bike when I was.
Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you didn't even realize it. When you going through a traumatic experience like that, that adrenaline just be your adrenaline is pumping to the point where you don't even feel the pain until after the fact. Yeah.
I ain't felt. They was in awe. The pictures that they were telling me that they had took. They was like, I can't believe you still talking about a bag. Look down at your foot. And I was just, even the fact that I got up off the ground and start running. After the
Hmm.
ice. You know, no, I didn't know. I just know my stuff was in there. My passport, my ID, my bank card, my money, my phones. I had just packed my bag to go to where I was going, and I just wanted to have all my favorite stuff with me.
Uh huh. So after the all of this and happened, since you said you done lost everything, so what is the process for you to get your passport back and all of that? Can you elaborate on that a little bit, just in case somebody goes through something like this, they end up losing their passport. So how does this work?
Well, Joy is helping me. Honey is helping me. Thank goodness, Sharon. I appreciate both of them. Simone, love you to death. Everybody, I want to thank everybody for even saying, how am I doing? Praying for me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm new to the Punta Cana expat area because I've always said that I'm a local, even though, because I've lived here for, that long and I interact with the community, the Haitians, the Dominicans. But the expat group, I do appreciate y'all and I want to thank y'all. Uh, so we've reached out to the embassy and we've talked to them yesterday. The captains, the tourist captains are on the team and have our back, of
Hmm.
course. And they said I could expedite my passport. And is there anybody that I want them to try to reach because I don't even know my son's phone number. I'm so dependent on my phone. Everything is in my phone. So
I,
they're working on reaching some people for me. And I know that Joy and Honey and them is doing some things for me, and I appreciate it kindly. So they're all telling me, don't worry about nothing, don't stress about nothing, don't care about nothing, just care about getting myself healthy and worry about uh, my well being, which I was concerned about everything else but me at that time, it seemed like. But yeah, definitely be aware of your surroundings. Yes, they say we are targets, but again, I haven't had any problems before. This is my first. I've never had nothing, and I've been here 4 years in Dominican Republic. It is a horrible thing that has happened, and I don't wish that on anybody. And it happened so fast. So, you know, what I do know is my life is more important than any material thing or any valuable thing. It all can be replaced, but at that split second, that I didn't think like that. But thank you all for y'all's concerns, y'all's questions. Um, get everything together. Thank y'all so much. It seemed like it's going in and out.
Can you guys hear me? If you guys can hear me, let me know. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Ah, technical difficulties, guys. I don't know what's going on. Give me 1 minute. You guys can hear me. Can you hear me? Okay. Um, just give me just give me 1 minute. I'm gonna try to get her back on. Okay, guys. I'm sorry. I was having Wi-Fi issues here, but Miss Wendy, guys, is a little overwhelmed from reliving it. This is what she just texted me. I mean, I can understand. This is something that just recently happened, so she's still traumatized by it. I just texted, asked her to come back on, and her explaining to us what happened is like she's reliving this all over again. So I understand. I totally understand. It's definitely a traumatic experience to have to go through that and then talk about it. It's still fresh. It's still new to her. So her to have to explain all of this, and it's just a traumatizing situation for her. So I get it. I get it. My heart goes out to her, man, and I just hope that she she has a speedy recovery. I mean, from what we see, from what I see, she's in good spirits. I mean, I don't know if I could be as strong as her right now. You know what I mean? Especially losing a toe, man. That's and to be able to have to walk and and all of that stuff. So it's going to be hard for her to to I know the rehabilitation is going to be a long process. You know what I mean? You all please tell people her story to help this not happen again. Yeah, please guys, share this. I'm not here to criticize Miss Wendy. It's still fresh. She just wants to honor your request since she respects you as a person. I get it. So, I asked her to come on, personally, and I appreciate her just giving me the time that she has given to me, just so that we can make other expats aware, you know. As I said for myself, I I wouldn't, I wouldn't do the whole moto thing. You know what I mean? Only because we are a target. We are a target when we get on those motorcycles. I remember when I first started traveling in the Dominican Republic. I'm traveling as a tourist. My girlfriend's on a moto. We're on a moto. We're on a moto control together. It's like literally the moto control driving me and then my girl on the back. And I got my cell phone out, just unaware of what could possibly happen. You know what I'm saying? And the motor control told my girl at the time, he said, tell your boyfriend to put his cell phone in his pocket. And once they told me that, I realized, okay, this is not cool. You know what I mean? Because a motor control could just come out of nowhere and snatch my cell phone, So we just need to be aware of our surroundings and not be so adventurous to the point where we can get ourselves, hurt, to say the least. So my heart goes out to her, man. Let's keep Miss Wendy in our prayers, guys. I also posted the GoFundMe link in the community section on my page. So if you guys are looking to donate um, to help Miss Wendy, you know, recover from her injuries, man, I'm gonna definitely donate to her as well. So if you guys are looking to do that, the link as I said, is in the community section on the channel. Me personally, women shouldn't be solo travelers. expats got to have a community. Exactly. And I say this to you guys all the time. Even for myself personally, for those of you who don't know, when I was in Dominican Republic in was it May? I got into a car accident myself. Now the North Coast is my territory. I stay in the North Coast. Everything is predominantly the North Coast. Not to say that I don't travel out to other cities, but I was coming from Bayaguana, leaving out of Santo Domingo, and I got into a car accident, and I didn't know what to do. Good, thank God that I have a channel and I have other expats that that I do communicate with. So when that situation happened to me, I was able to call up somebody that I personally knew in Santo Domingo, and they came and rescued me. Just being able to have somebody there, was made me feel at ease because it was around 5 o'clock. I'm in a big city. Sun's about to go down. It could be a frightening experience for anybody. So this is why I always tell new people, expats that are moving to Dominican Republic, you really need to get yourself connected with other expats, whether it be in the area that you're moving in or another city. It's always good to know people in different cities that just in case something happens, you have somebody you can contact. It's very important. I can't stress that enough, guys. I can't stress it enough. Banners are everywhere in the DR. I don't see the GoFundMe link. Where did you say it was again? The GoFundMe link. If you look in the where you post, just go on. I tap the icon, and you should be able to see it in the community section. It's the first post that I posted in the community section in a long time. So I'm sure you'll be able to find it there. Miss Wendy is ready to come back to your live, Jay. Oh, she's here. She's here. Okay. I'm gonna bring her back on, guys.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Okay. So Miss Wendy is back. Wendy, I listen, I understand if you needed to take a break. No, it's okay. It's okay. Listen, I get it. What you went through, is a traumatic experience for anybody to go through something like that. So you needed a breather. I get it, and it's okay. But are you okay now?
Just to relive it, just how it went down and what could I have done different. I know they keep telling me it's not my fault, and I had just left everybody because they were going on a private boat ride, and I had an appointment to be at. So it wasn't that far from me leaving the people that I was with because I just got here on August the 2nd. I haven't even been in Punta Cana that long. So
Wow.
I was with 10 people. So I wasn't alone,
Uh-huh.
and since I haven't been alone. I'm always with Honey or Joy. We always be together. So it was just me leaving them, going to the next place I was supposed to be at 5.
Uh-huh.
And they wanted me to go on a boat ride with them, but I was just so excited about my 5 o'clock appointment. I couldn't wait to get to where I was going.
Mhm. Yeah. So now that
So
was in Punta Cana or Bavaro?
Punta Cana,
It was in Punta
brought
Cana.
in, what it is? Bob. El Cudacito. Cordacito. But they technically call that. Well, it's
And for
right
those
around. It's
for those of you guys that just watching, be sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Now, Miss Wendy, for people that are looking to donate to, I know somebody set that up for you, and as an expat community, when one of us go through things like this is a time that we all come together and look out for each other. You know what I mean? So, what is your GoFundMe page or chat, so that people can donate if they're looking to donate. Now I told them that I did post it in the community section if they're looking to donate, but just give it to them so if they're looking, to donate, they can go right to your GoFundMe.
they getting ready to tell me. Joy and Honey set this up for me. Honey is Sharon, and I appreciate them. Like I said, they have come together to bat, and I appreciate them so much because I don't know. I appreciate them. I don't even really know them that long, and I definitely appreciate them a lot.
Hmm. It's
She's
a and
getting it
it's
right.
a it's
I
a
didn't
it's a
know it.
brother it's a brother and sisterhood. You know, we if we don't look out for each other, who gonna look out for us? You know what I mean?
But
And we you,
been alone in Wandolio. I've always reached out to Puerto Plata. I've always reached out to Punta Cana expats, but I don't really have no expats in Wandolio. So I have been alone and I made it on my own for these 4 years with no problems.
hmm
Um, set, he's going to post it and where you can see where people's asking questions
yeah. If you
because I
guys
don't
can post, okay, yeah, post it in the chat so that people can click on it. For those of you who can't find it. And for those of you guys that are watching, be sure to hit the like, share, and subscribe. But as I was saying, Wendy, I always tell my viewers, man, living out in Dominican Republic as an expat, I know you consider yourself as a local. I know that.
know. They don't consider me local, but I mean, but they like me. But when I say local, it
uh,
means I live among the Dominicans. I live among, the Haitians. I live, you know how I live. I showed you my place.
and
Every
I
time
was
a
and
lot
that's
of
one thing that I believe that's one thing that you and I do have in common. I invested in Dominican Republic only to dive into the culture. You see what I'm saying? Some people, everybody has their own idea how they want to live, and that's fine. I mean, if you one of those people that want to live in a gated community, kudos to you. Me myself, I chose the compo life. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only way that you're gonna really be able to connect with locals. And yeah, I have had my mishaps and in the process of doing all of this, but that's what comes with the territory, guys. That's part of the DR culture. And I have been very transparent with a lot of my viewers about my mishaps and going through the process of building a home in Dominican Republic, etc., etc. So for you, I'm just like, even though you have went through this, what made you decide to say, you know what, I'm still gonna stay and ride it out?
to give it a chance. I mean, because I can't go back home at any time. This is my
Mhm.
choice. Um, you know why I'm not there. It's not a happy place for me in the USA. We've already talked about all of that. And I love being here. And even when I downplay to be here, to live
Mhm.
beneath my means, that's the to me, the less I spend, the longer I get to stay. Because I don't know if people know I had to go back and forth to the USA, do hair, come back here and spend my money, and I just want to be here. I love it here. It's peace and paradise for me. USA is HELL, and I deserve peace and paradise. We all
Mhm.
do. All the expats, what you moving here for? Peace and paradise. You know what I'm saying? It's just
Mhm.
everybody on peace. And again, I'm JD. I'm Wandolio chick. Down. I'm always. When I went to get my stuff, they was crying, telling me, "I can't believe you leaving us." So, and I can always go back there. My house is still there.
Mhm.
Waiting on me. Always go back. But I wanted to stick this out. Even with this, I want to go to their rehab. I want to see. Because there's so many horror stories. And number one, the horror stories about the hospital and stuff, it wasn't true for me. It might have been true for
Mhm.
whoever put that out, but I didn't have that experience.
Mhm.
So okay, they said it's posted at the bottom. I'm there for you all, but
Okay. I don't see it there. I don't see it. So your experience, when because I work in the medical field, so these are the kind of things that I want to know. God forbid something happens to me, how is the level of care? How do they treat Americans that's going that has to that needs medical services? How does all of that stuff work? Now I know you said that you didn't have insurance, so how did the billing process work? Like what? How? Elaborate on that a little bit.
so I got here on the second. I've been gone for 3 months. I've been in the USA. And when you come back here, you can't get insurance. You have to wait till the following on the first of the month. So on September the 1st, of course, mine would have kicked in. There at the hospital, Joy and them wanted me to be moved somewhere else. And I was like, I'm doing fine here. Like I said, I don't know if it was because I was an American or what, but they were seeing about me. They kept coming to check on me. They sent the American speaking worker in there. She was like, I'm here from 7 o'clock right now to 8 o'clock in the morning. You need anything? I felt like they were seeing about me and they were taking care of me. Just like if I was in Atlanta, Georgia at Grady, you there 8 hours before somebody comes see about you. So I just kept comparing it to that, what I know. Um, they seemed to care about me and look out for me. Again, like I said, surgery was so fast. That was great. And I know experience in USA, you go to the hospital, you wait for them to get a surgeon and hope a surgeon is in the building. So he came back. I said the cast was too high up on the crease of my leg. Not a problem. They sawed it down and made me comfortable. If nobody else had no covers, I had covers. I can only eat a little bit. They brought me food. Mhm. I have an appointment to go back to a specialist in 10 days. I got all my medication. I got my crutches. I got everything. You know, they can. Hey, Jay, I don't see you. Well, he stepped off. Everybody, again, thank y'all so much. I do appreciate your concerns, your prayers. Um, I have nothing against Dominican Republic. Again, I can leave today if I wanted to. I got my stitches. I got my toes. I could feel them moving. You know, I'm glad to be alive. Like I said, in 4 years, I've seen people on the side of the road with their foot hanging just by a piece of skin, their neck broke, their head busted, you know, scarred all up the side of their body. No negativity toward Punta Cana. It could have happened to anybody. Actually, it happens a lot more than it's talked about, as I was told. Um, of course, they're not going to tell you all that because it's a tourist. We want the tourists to come out here. They want the tourists to come. But yeah, it ain't nothing new. It didn't seem like it. It happens. Like I said, I was told it happens quite often. Just because it's not talked about or anything, you know. And it could have happened to anybody at any time because I kept saying, "Why me? What did I do?" I wasn't in the dark. It was in broad daylight. I was riding a moto, going not even 15 minutes from where I was. I left everybody else. And again, I just got here on August the 2nd, so I hadn't even been here that long. I come from Wandolio, been there 4 years, hadn't had any problems at all. You know, ride my moto, talk to people, hang out with the locals at the beaches. I'm the travel buddy, I'm the companion. I teach a couple people to speak English. I cut hair at the
Hey,
Kamado
can you
on
hear
the
me?
beach, portable clippers and stuff. I've never had any problems. Hey Jay, you back?
Can you hear
We
me?
can. I can
Yeah.
hear you now.
Never on the daily. Thanks a lot. You done messed up my damn live. I had to come on. I had to come on my laptop because when somebody calls me, it just messes up the whole rotation of the live. So I had to get on my laptop. Sorry about that, guys.
I was trying to hold it down for you because when I don't see you, I think it's time to hang up. But I said I'm
Nah,
gonna hold it down.
nah, and you did. You did. You held it down. But as I was, let me log off this because I hear echo in the background. I know a lot of the viewers had